My name is Victoria. I kind of adore ya.
And this is from a water fight with West Auckland children.
What? I love it.
Yeah. Go, this is. Yeah. Then I just went kind of, what am I doing? I think I may have rung Hurley. I was probably in tears. I remember one day, just every 20 minutes, I'd just be in tears and I couldn't figure out why.
Hello, welcome to the show, Unscripted, real talk on real life. Sorry, we've just been having a bit of a laughing fit before we started this, so excuse the laughter. On today's show, which I've completely fucked up, I'm fucked up the end. Sorry, Shay.
Just go with it. Today's show we have the in fits, giggling, beautiful, apparently hilarious Sarah.
Oh, crikey. Along with our gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful host, Victoria, and beautiful Renate. No, sorry, let's get it real. Let's get real. Okay, so a wonderful guest today. You will know him through the comedy scene. He has been around for about 22 years and travelled right through New Zealand, plus Australia, as well as some of the islands, taking his funniness all over the place. And we love you. So his name is Vaughan King. Thank you. He's also had his own comedy blues bar down in Wellington, which, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear about that. It sounds like so much fun. And he is our wonderful guest today. So we're in for some fun laughter, which we've already had, hence the bit of a funny intro today. In the crazy house this morning.
But I have to point out, you said I've been around for 22 years. I'm older than 22, otherwise this has been a rough life. This is what 22 looks like. It's really fucked it up. Yeah, started growing this when I was 12. It's been a rough 22 years. I've been in the comedy scene for 22 years. Yeah.
Sorry, we want to know what the hell is in our water. Oh, hot. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice. This looks really cool. This is like, if this was the Last Supper, this is how I would join that church, because this is quite cool. We've got cheese. You got the guy with the beard in the middle.
With the three angels.
With Charlie's Angels, mixture of Charlie's Angels and Jesus.
I like that. So, do you want to tell us about the Jesus?
Well, you know, once a year at the comedy club, I give everybody little tiny cheeses, and it's baby cheeses.
Baby cheeses, do you really?
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Oh, that actually worked out well. Yeah,
We're continuing the tradition, but except, we're giving Jesus the big bit.
Now, let's just tell me what the cheese joke is. So the cheese, Vaughan is obsessed with cheese.
Tell us to what extent
you're obsessed
with cheese.
Hence the purpose.
Because we all love cheese, but Vaughan.
I keep staring at it. No, well, yeah, then it'd be really hard to talk. It's not even a joke. I've got such a problem with cheese. Even when Sarah brought the cheese in, I felt all tingly. Everything went a little bit weird on me. I've eaten, the worst one I've done was I ate 2 kgs of cheese in one sitting. And this was about...
Yeah, that's a kg block.
That's 1 kg block. So I got 1 kg block and I put it in a pot and I melted it because I thought that's how you make a fondue. And I drained off the oil. I got the other kg block and I cut it into strips very much like that and dunked the hard cheese and the runny cheese. Ate the lot in one go.
Oh my God, were you sick for days?
I had to go do a gig and I turned up this gig and I was grey. I was just like, it fucks with you hard out. And I turned up and everyone went, are you all right? And I was kind of going, oh my God, I know how much cheese is too much cheese. But the thing about cheese, it's really binding. As you know, if you eat a lot of cheese, I call it the Devils Cork. Because 2 kgs of cheese, it'll fuck you up for 4 days. Nothing happened. 4 days.
Why the Devil's Cork? 4 days.
4 days, nothing happened. And like,
the Devil's Cork, that's fucking epic.
Yeah, it just 4 days, 2 kgs really messes you up. And I'm not going to be one of those comedians that compares, you've had pain because you've given birth. But I tell you what, after that, I was in that little room by myself. There was no epidural. There was no nobody with flowers or giving me help. I just squeezed that fucker out by myself. I had to get a mirror to see the crowning. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
Should we remove the cheese?
cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Someone take the cheese off.
Is this like putting like a bottle of vodka or something in front of an alcoholic where you really should be eating it?
It really is. I got dry mouth. I'm thinking my heart's racing a little bit.
Hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought we were doing something nice. The poor guy's having
Yeah, I'm having a
trauma
heart attack.
flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks. That was a horrible 3.5 hours of my life. Like the blood, the sweat, the tears. It was horrible. But, when you see it, though, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Just, it's yours.
Cheese baby.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, my God, the state of it already. I love it.
Did you make it through the gig?
Yeah. It was. I was grey and looking weird. Everyone thought I was having a heart attack. Like, it did actually make me go grey.
Wow.
I reckon all my arteries were just going, what the fuck's this? And it was, but really good. So now I just use 1 kg if I'm doing fondue.
1 kg. 1
Yeah.
kg.
I don't have cheese in my house at the moment because I go, I'll put that there, or I'll cut it into strips like this, see what you've done here with your little strips.
Yeah.
Like rookie.
Finger bite sizes.
No, I can open up the fridge and just bite it like an apple. And I don't.
Show us how.
I don't it'll happen. I don't know. People put like cheese on crackers and all that sort of shit. What's the point in having a cracker? Just get into the cheese.
Oh, bless you. I love you.
So there's my cheese problem.
That's a cheese story. That's his cheese addiction. Whoopsies, we didn't know it was that bad. My bad. Sorry, babes. So what are you working on now? You're producing? Are you producing? Yeah, tell us what. Yeah, what are you producing? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, for the last 13 years, me and Ben Hurley have been producing a monthly show down in Taranaki Comedy Club. So we're still doing that, and we take down a line of pro comedians, and every month either he hosts it one month, I'll host it the next, or we co-host together. And it's great fun. We've been doing that for 13 years through 3 different venues. Now we're at the Novotel Hotel, which we turn the convention sort of room into a comedy gig club for the night. It's so much fun. It's a blast.
So you used to always come down to the comedy one in Queen Street. I love it. That's kind of like the OG, isn't it? It's the original comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's still going, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going, still there.
Classic comedy bar. I think, that's been going for about 25-ish years. That's the home of New Zealand comedy, the only full-time New Zealand comedy room. It's
What got you into comedy? Like, where in your life were you like, this is what I want to do? Did you fall into it, or is it like you had this moment where this is what I want?
Hard industry too, huh?
Really hard.
I actually just wanted to do it once or twice so it could be put on my acting CV, because I was trained in acting, I went through drama school and all that, and I actually worked as a mime artist for 4 years.
Did you
And actually,
Can you show us a little?
I could, but a little piece of me dies every time. But when mime artist for 4 years, that was 4 years when I did not get laid because nobody likes a mime. Have you ever gone like, hey, that mime's cool, check out him pretending there's a wall? Nobody does that, eh?
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, you go, this is, And no, you do that in the pubs. Nobody's going, check out that guy making shapes, actually making shapes. So yeah. So I
But you didn't bring mime into the bedroom.
No, I do have a particular look, and usually it's grateful. But I don't do mime in the bedroom. That would be weird. Okay, you stay over there, I'll stay over this. Watch this. This is I don't know what that was. See, look, you're a natural. Yeah. So then I did a musical. This is how long ago it was. I was Baby John in West Side Story.
I thought you were going to say Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus. And then at the after party for that was in New Plymouth. The after party for that, I got really drunk, and I was saying to some people I want to try stand up, just to give it a go. And they were moving to Auckland the next day, and I said I'll go. I was living in a little hotel at the time. I could pack everything in 10 minutes into a bag. So I got really drunk, and then I don't remember much. And I wake up coming into Auckland in the backseat of this dude's car, just going, oh my God, what happened? All my stuff was in there, and I turned up in Auckland and went, thanks, and that was it.
Wow.
I lived in a garage for 3 weeks, tried comedy, and it was horrific. So I kept doing it, and eventually somebody paid me, and I went, well, why would I stop doing it?
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a...
What was it like first getting up then? So it was, something completely new. You've not done it before, because comedy is hard. It's, you know, it's very daunting because it's not like, here's your lines, learn them, off you go. You have to write your stuff. You have to make people laugh.
And everyone's got a different sense of humour as well. So they're not going to like everything that you say.
Well, that's the bonus about comedy, I think. If you don't like somebody's comedy, you're 100% right because it doesn't match your humour.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes up and tells me, I don't think you're funny, well, they're right. But, you know, somebody comes up and goes, you're my favourite comedian for the night, they're right too. It's so individual.
There's no right and no wrong. Sort of
that's
thing.
why I don't think they should have reviewers for comedy shows because it's one person's opinion where everybody else has got such different comedy stylings.
Yeah, that goes for everything really with the reviews, movies and everything because everyone's got a different kind
different
of
taste.
Yeah.
So what was your first experience? Was it fear? Did you feel confident? Were you prepared?
Terrified.
Oh, God, yeah.
But because of my first one, now there's a common saying that goes on because I remember 2 weeks before my first gig, you think about it and my heart would just go, I'd be going, oh my God, and I'd be practicing walking backwards and forwards on the back lawn with my A4 paper, word for word, you know, what I'm going to say. And then in my mind would get carried away. So a pretend heckler would heckle me and I'd deal with it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, why am I talking to myself? And I'm getting heckled by my own subconscious. I was that freaked out. But then I got into it was on a raw night, I got into the green room. I'm sitting there quite terrified. It was 22 years ago. And Rhys Darby walked in. Now,
I love Rhys.
Yeah, at this stage, I think he'd done a couple of adverts. So you know, he'd been on TV, but not to the extent of fame that he is now, of course. And he walked in and never met him before. And he just looks at me. You can probably see the fear. And he goes, hey, don't fuck it up, and walked out. And I was like, pressure. Yeah, which is good now.
words of encouragement.
Yeah, you never forget it, eh? And then so now whenever new comedians are trying out, and try to pop into the green room and scare them and just go, don't fuck it up. So it's
I love it.
quite a regular thing.
Continued
It
it
kind of
on.
brings you back to, you know, that
it's
you're
all-
out of your own head sort of thing.
Yeah, and this little badge of honor, you hear somebody go, somebody on my first gig told me not to fuck it up. Then they find out where it stemmed from, and it's kind of cool.
That's really cool. So do you, like being a comedian, is that a talent you're born with or can you teach someone to be funny?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that if it's a natural thing that's in you. Or,
I think it might have stemmed from, like everything, you know, whether it's alcoholism, family violence, comedy, anything like that, it can kind of stem from your family and what sort of loops go into. Like my father was so positive and supportive and very funny. Like even with his mates around, there'd always be this dry sense of humour and having a laugh and playing silly pranks. Like the text this morning, just, you know, I'm in Grey Lane, I can't find the place.
Oh,
shit. And so I think I grew up with that around me and always in a positive way, not making fun at people for their expense, just everybody has a bit of a laugh. So I think that's the roll on from my family. Which is
That's cool that you brought it with that. It's obviously rubbed into your humour.
Well, that's part of what you said, who inspires you, you know, and who still inspires you is your father. You said he was such a great man and he's great fun, he's great to be around. And I think that's really awesome that you know, that you feel that way and that, you know, you still now think he's really inspirational.
What did your dad think about you getting into comedy?
Oh, he loved it. He loved it. And every 6 or 7 months, I'd give him a call and go, what am I doing? I'm too old for this. I should just get a job. And he'd go, no, don't, because he got one job and stayed in it all his life. And he was just, don't, you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters, just have fun.
Oh, you need that, don't you? That's so cool.
Even years and years and years on, he goes, don't worry, you're the biggest, longest overnight success that's taken this long. So he was always so positive, you know. Yeah, because every now and then you doubt yourself, and I'm 49 now, and I go, what am I doing? You know, I'm renting in the middle of the city. I don't have what a lot of my friends have, you know, the wife and the kids and all that sort of stuff, and the mortgage. And every now and then you get that doubt and you go, oh my God, have I wasted my life? And then again, I've had a ball.
You've had a good life, you've had fun, you reflect on it, you've travelled,
you're still enjoying
you make
it
a lot of people laugh, you know, and you are very well known, you're fun to watch. I was watching you on YouTube the other day, I was cracking up. And I shared it to the girls and stuff, you know, and you've got such I love your type of sense of humour, it really quite gets me. And it's not your normal generic ha-ha funny stuff, it's just, I don't know how to kind of explain your comedy, but it gets me. I've a bit of a wacky sense of humour, I have a dry sense of humour, and I have a very inappropriate sense of humour. And I think you kind of like get all those buttons, you know, you kind of post it. And I love inappropriate stuff that's kind of like people are like, cringe at it. I'm like, oh, that was fucking brilliant. Like Jim Jeffries, I love Jim Jeffries.
Right.
He is so wrong in so many ways, but oh my God, he's amazing.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen him?
Yes, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't watch a lot of comedy though because I think it interferes with any writing or style that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago I watched Billy Connolly and a CD of his, and for the next 3 weeks I was writing these rants and I was going, this is really not right for me. I realised I was writing in his style because it was in my head.
Did you ever have a comedian though that you sort of, when you were first starting out, were like aspiring to or that you admired?
Yeah, I think like Ben Hurley, he's been my best mate for years. We actually met outside of comedy in an Ugly Shakespeare thing that I was touring on, that he toured on the year before me. But became great best mates all the way through, and all the way through he's been very inspiring and just and a great help and a good, if I'm not sure about something, give him a call and we chat it out, or we co-produce the show together, so we're talking about lineups and how the night can work and matching the comedians together. So he is like comedy guy, he knows every angle of it, and apart from being my mate, he's just such a solid sort of role model to kind of look at as well.
So was he around when you first started, or was he later?
A fraction later. I'd started doing Monday nights, and then halfway through me doing that, I joined the Ugly Shakespeare Company that he was actually on the year before. So when I first met him, somebody's mowing the lawn.
Oh, wait, you have a lawnmower. Oh, for God's sake. Excuse me.
There's always a heckler, eh? But it's the first time I've been heckled by a lawnmower.
Oh, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I've had words with my neighbours about Sundays.
The first day I was billeted to stay at his house, because we'd stay at usually teachers' houses all around New Zealand when doing the Ugly Shakespeare Company, and so I couldn't find his place, and I was parked outside this bottle shop. I gave him a call, never met him before. Then I had a mow and goatee, just they were in then, and so I called him and told him where I was. He said, "Wait there, I'll come down and get you. You can follow me back." So he comes down. And I said, "Oh, while we're at the bottle store, I'll get half a dozen." He went, "Oh, if you get half a dozen, I'll get half a dozen." I said, "Well, I'll just grab a dozen." He goes, "Well, we can do that. I'll grab a bottle of bourbon." So I grabbed a box of beer. He grabbed a bottle of bourbon. We went back to his place, forgot about dinner, got absolutely smashed, ended up in town. Within 3.5 hours, I remember being there quite drunk going, "I think you're my best friend." It was very funny. So that's how we first met, but then we've just been mates ever since.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What? So you had your own club in Wellington.
Yes.
BK.
BK's Comedy and Blues Bar.
How did that come about? Because that is really cool. That's very cool.
I think it's the dream of most comedians. If you could own your own club, it'd be great. It'd be really cool. So, once again, talking with Hurley, we just kind of looked at it, would it work, and gave it a go. Hurley was the original investor. We ended up getting Ursula Carlson and Ewan Gilmore's family later on, and put it all together ourselves. I was in there painting and nailing. I learnt how to fix holes in the wall. Just YouTube's great for all that, just because I don't know how to do anything. So we got it going, and I went down to Briscoe's on the end of year sale, New Year's Eve. No, not New Year's Eve sale.
Boxing Day
sale,
yeah.
And brought 120 chairs, and just did it on such a shoestring, but got it together, and it looked amazing, and it was so much fun.
So you had it for 2 years?
About 3.5.
Oh, 3.5. Oh. So, because Wellington doesn't actually have a comedy club down there, does it? Except for what you had, or the level that you guys had? Yeah,
the only full-time comedy club was the Classic in Auckland. So there's little bars that do the weekly ones or twos all over the place. So there's a little bit of a beginning scene down there. So it was great for the senior people came in, and we got them on a ladder so that they could start gigging more in the more expensive nights, the pro nights, the semi-pro nights, and nights to try out fresh stuff. So everybody started to hone their craft a bit more, and that's how build a strong scene. It was a bit of a shame that it all finished, but it kind of had to. It was. I was doing some rough hours there. I was doing everything. So I get in the morning, clean the place, scrub the toilets, mop, all that sort of stuff, stock the bar, organise the shows, open the bar, be the bar manager, sometimes host the shows while I'm there, then do the clean down and the shut up and lock up.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Was it every day? Was it every day?
Yeah.
So it was open?
Yeah, not every day, but it was just, go. I was doing about 90 hours a week at one point, and the relationship I was in at the time that finished, and I ended up moving into the storeroom of the bar, changed so around this little like cot thing. It was all toilet paper and stacked products and stuff around.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I joined a gym around the corner, and I thought I've got to make this work. And stupidly enough, it's about well-being and mental health. Stupidly enough, instead of going, I need to work harder, I needed to work smarter, or I needed to get help in. But I just went, I'll go hard out with it. So I lived there. I'd get up in the morning, go to a gym in the morning, have a shower, come back and work it all night, and then sleep in the storeroom and then do it again.
So you never really had out of there. You never kind of stepped out of that role and out of that environment. You were there.
Yeah.
Would you say that was one of your toughest times?
Yeah, probably. It was doable, but it just got to the point. I think, how can anybody survive doing that? So it was bubbling along. It wasn't making a huge amount of money, but it was the first three and a half years of it, so it was okay, and the place was looking great, and the scene was getting stronger. Then I just went kind of, what am I doing? I think I may have rung Hurley. I was probably in tears. I remember one day, just every 20 minutes, I'd just be in tears, and I couldn't figure out why. I was just sinking into depression of just overdoing it and burnout. And then he just went, man, what are you doing? We need to shut the doors. Nothing's worth this.
How did that feel?
It was that support. Yeah, support from Hurley as an investor and Ursula and Ewan's family. They're all just like, yep, your health is number one. Forget the bar.
That's amazing, though, that they recognised that and supported you through that.
So there was no other option of bringing somebody else in or a couple of people in to help you. Everybody had other full-time work as well, but this was your this was your life. This was your full-time.
Yeah. All the comedians who work down there are working other jobs and that. So, and also, at the beginning of a business, you've just got to you've got to put your heart and soul into it. It was blood, sweat and tears. So it was beautiful. I still loved it. Man, we had some great times there. It was just a little bit rough at the end. But out of all 90% of it was just amazing, and so privileged to be in that situation where I could do that.
Yeah, and you got the opportunity to do it as well, which is really cool. And I love blues. The blues is...
Me too.
Do we even have a blues club in Auckland?
Well, there used to be one up at the end of Ponsonby Road, underneath... I can't remember what it was called.
I just think it's just so...
You know, Waiheke, when I was a child, used to do the big blues concerts. And blues and jazz they would do. Oh, I loved that. Loved that. Great memories.
Would you do something like that again here in Auckland?
Oh, no, hell no. Never.
Is it? Nope, I will.
Maybe a cheese shop. But no. But see, even it was actually going to be comedy and jazz. And I got some local jazz people in from Wellington to kind of like audition so I could see the feel of it.
Yeah.
And realised really quickly that I don't like jazz. And this is so horrible, but to me it's like you get a stairwell, get a whole lot of instruments and throw it down and bam, 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 bam. Somebody's at the end going, well, is that good?
It's a good way of describing it, actually.
Spooky though, because I'd said no to this one guy, and then for 2 days he'd come with a chair and sit across the road from the comedy club.
Oh, shut off.
I'm still painting, getting things ready, and he'd just kind of watch. And I was like, oh man, never getting jazz in here.
Chair?
Yeah, he took a chair and sat there.
Did he play his trumpet? No.
No, I think in his
Just
mind.
sat there. I thought he might have been playing an instrument. But
No,
just
he just sat there and watched, like he was waiting for it to open or something. Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Maybe he just fancied you.
Well, yeah. Well, you should, yeah.
Oh, well,
No,
you
no
never
luck
know.
just being a creepy sit over the road guy. Yeah.
So you are really close, like Ewan Gilmore was just one of the most amazing comedians. Well, I just loved him. God, he was just Westy. He was Westy, wasn't he? Just long, I mean, I'd say a lot of people would know who Ewan Gilmore is. He was just one of the best comedians. And you and Ewan were very, very close.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Ewan passed away a few years ago. And but you're still very, very close to his family, and his family helps invest in the club, which I think is really special and really amazing.
Yeah, his mother Janice and his brother Lyle, they went to town with that, and have been nothing but great support through not only that, most of or anything I'm doing. So it was really good. I got
adopted another family.
Yeah, they gave me Ewan's sound gear that we used to tour with for the club. So my club had Ewan's sound gear and microphones in and all that. And they've been sitting at my place for the last probably 4 years now, not doing anything. So I had a talk with Lyle, Ewan's brother, and we gave them to Mike King because he's doing a lot of stuff with mental health, and instead of them just sitting there, I know Ewan would have wanted them to be used by somebody like Mike for his good cause. So that was quite nice to pass that on. But,
I love that you guys have a really awesome community in the comedy scene, and we as people would think, oh, comedians, you guys don't get sad, you don't get upset, you make people laugh, that's what you do for a living. But in reality, there's quite a real life, and there's that heavy side too. You are there to perform in front of people, make people laugh. That's what you do. But behind the scenes, it can be quite a different story. There's quite a lot of pressure and
not
demand
only
on
that. Most comedians I know, not most, but a fair chunk of comedians have got some real fucked up issues. Like comedians, we're all out.
I like how you put that.
Yeah, no, but like including myself. But there's, I'm not just putting this on everyone else. Yeah, like we've all got issues. Everyone comes with baggage. But holy shit, comedians. It depends. Like you get into it and you get that instant sort of gratification from the audience. You do a joke, they laugh and clap. You feel good about yourself. So it feeds quite an ego build sort of system in yourself. So if you can't learn to turn that off after you get off stage, then you can actually become this constant ego sort of me person, which is fine for some people, and people are living with it. But God, yeah,
But
comedians.
it does become exhausting and catch up with you,
Yeah,
it's not real.
Would we find that with any sort of performer in that sort of light? Or
Sorry?
is it, would you find that with any sort of performer, not just in comedy, or is it that one-on-one from being a comedian, you get that one-on-one attention because your work has been, praised? Or would you get that from any sort of performer?
I don't know. I think there used to be a lot more males in comedy than females. Now it's almost the opposite, which is great.
It's a great shift there.
Yeah.
Go women
Yeah.
comedians as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is funny.
Yeah.
I love the comedy scene here. They do cover everything. I mean, oh God, I'm going to forget about her name now. Don't worry, keep moving on. I'll remember it. I'll remember her in a minute.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's in any other industry, because I don't know that in other industries as well as I do comedy. But yeah, for a long time there, it was a whole lot of guys that want to be rock and roll, want to have the rock and roll lifestyle, but they can't play an instrument, so they just talk. And it's odd because you get out there and people try to be real rock and roll, and they might try and cross lines just to get a reaction. And I know it's changed now though. It's all morphing.
Is it competitive?
Yeah, for some people. There's some people that get a little bit annoyed with other people getting certain things, but
jealous.
Yeah. But I've always found if any of my mates get something good, just fantastic, celebrate it, because there's a high possibility too that you might end up, they might cause a pathway to get other comedians to that area. So just celebrate the success and have a good time.
I think in general, people should be championing one another. Like, go you. You've all got your different things to bring. You've all got your unique
talents.
Talents for sure. Celebrate it.
Yeah, and there are quite a few people that do that. But in any business or industry, there's always the people that are power hungry, and some of them will make it. But you look back at your journey and go, what have I enjoyed about that? I've made some enemies. I got to yell at people.
Stomping on a lot of people's toes and crossing the line.
Yeah. No, it should be all about fun, and everybody can win.
Exactly. No, where do you get your content sort of mainly from? Do you sit down and just think about like everyday issues and then try and see if you can make a bit of fun out of a lot of things, or how do you get your content for your shows?
It can be a mixture of things. Like when I ate 2 kgs of cheese at the time, and for 4 days afterwards, it was a horrible time. And
It wasn't so you guys
It was a dark
share the story time.
yeah, it's quite emotional. And then and then after a while, you go, oh, hang on. Now looking back at it, that's quite funny. So, and usually the funniest jokes I've got are the stuff that have happened, and you go, there's no joke to that. That's actually happened,
That's
the way you tell the story as well can actually make it even more hilarious, I guess.
And the honesty behind it, because if you're in front of an audience and people can pick up on honesty, if you're telling a story that actually happened, they can see, it's not just, I came up with an
relate
idea.
to it though as well. The things that you say, when it's real stories, people go, oh my God, that happened to me. And then they remember their funny story, and then it makes you laugh when it's that relatable.
Yeah.
Because we all have those stories where something really awful happens and you're like, we'll laugh in that in a week's time or in a year's time, depending how bad it is. That'll be funny here or then.
There is a scale, so something will happen, and like one of my mates goes, shit, that'll be a story. I mean, not for a week.
You're not growing.
Or it might be this one, not for a year.
10 years. 10 years.
Yeah. Then you get a flashback and all of a sudden it's funny. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
Where have you got your like major highlights? What is some of like your absolute like, oh, that was a rock and roll moment?
Yeah, Mr. Rock and Roll.
Mr. Rock and roll.
No, I'm one of the ones that knew it wasn't rock and roll. I just want to get the free drink. I suppose, I was thinking about this the other night. There was a few years in a row, and I did a tour called the Real New Zealand Tour, and that was with Ben Hurley, Di Henwood, and Steve Wrigley. And we just went around to all the not so big towns. Like we go Ashburton and all the second, so it's the real New Zealand. And we did a tour of New Zealand 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years in a row.
Very cool.
I got to host them all, and it was just so much fun. That was, how you have those guys that keep reliving their high school moment when they made the touchdown on, so that was my area of that's when I was peaking. I just, loved it. And you're on the road with mates, you're having a good time.
Yeah, being on the road is so much fun.
But also being on tour, and there's a group of you, like, comedians. What's that like? Is it just like you go on stage and you're funny, or is off the scene and you're just constantly, like, dying with laughter with each other?
Oh, it's like on the stage, you're having a great time and you're enjoying it, but off the stage, you can be in tears. Because you're with those solid friends. It's like you three together. Before we started filming this, you three were just hilarious. It was almost like a different language because you know each other, and that's what you get on the road with mates when and they happen to be naturally really funny people. So you can just be in tears, and then you do the show, and then you get in the green room and have some fun again. But you also enjoy the show. But it's.
I think I'd like to go on tour with comedians. I think that'd be a good week.
I have been on tour with comedians before, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had a great time.
It can be exhausting, eh?
6 weeks.
Was it 3 weeks? No, it was 3 weeks. 3-week tour we went on.
You
tour
guys
with
went on tour
comedians.
together?
We did.
Yeah.
It was. Do you know that was 11 years ago?
Yeah.
11 years ago, Vaughan and I went on tour together. It was a group of us, and it was 3 weeks, and we went to Cromwell, Ashburton, and the Cargill, Christchurch, Dunedin, and we travelled around, and it was 3 weeks, and there were different comedians would come in. Or was it yourself and Andre?
Yeah.
Was there anyone else, or was it just you two?
I think somebody stepped in for me towards the end. But,
yeah.
But and you'll see, like, it's like any tour. Some of those nights were great, and other ones you're going like, holy shit, we're going to get killed. And,
some of those towns, like, if people didn't find you funny or something like that, it was like...
Yeah.
Quick, bring Sarah out.
What do we do?
Yeah.
And there were a lot of heckles as well, but we did about 3 weeks at the South Island, and we got to know each other all very, very well. And, all sharing hotel rooms together. And it was just fun. It was just so much fun, laughter, and the memories and the photos that actually came up on Facebook, some of the memories. I was like, oh my gosh, it was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I actually shared, because when I first started the tour, I shared a video clip of me on YouTube, and I shared to girls. Remember when my tongue got stuck in that beer bottle? And Ryan made it viral, and we will share it because I have no problems in sharing it at all. It was actually really stupid. It was 11 years ago, and I had a tongue ring, and I was being sexual with a beer bottle, and I got my tongue ring stuck in a beer bottle, like proper stuck, couldn't get out.
Actually.
And I started having an anxiety attack, panicking attack, and I was getting filmed at the time, and I was like, oh, and I was like, don't film me, and I was like, oh God, and I was, I'm freaking out, I'm going to have to go to the hospital with a beer bottle stuck in my tongue. I was like, what am I going to do? How do you explain this well? I was giving a blowjob to a beer bottle. And eventually, thank God for Ryan, he was our tour manager, and he ended up getting tried straws in his finger. He ended up getting a little spoon handle and scooping my tongue ring out of the beer bottle. And I was mortified. And I had to down here, because my tongue was like, out for so long, was so sore for days, like I had pulled my muscle. I pulled my tongue muscle.
By the way, we will be sharing this clip 100%.
I've got no shame in
who was
embarrassing
there?
myself.
Was anybody actually there and witnessed this in person?
Well, we were actually about to play bingo with the old people. It was at
Oh, you did it in front of a bunch of old people, so that's even better.
Sorry guys, like playing bingo.
I was in Queenstown at the casino, and I literally just got off the plane and went to the casino because I used to drink a lot, and I was like, fuck, I just need a drink. I went there, and it was the first minute.
He's so lucky he got out with a straw in his fingers, because otherwise what they do is they pick you up the other end and they blow real hard. And that can be painful.
You might have liked that, actually.
Maybe just a little bit.
Oh my gosh, but yeah, definitely funny times on tour, like some stuff that just happens at it's all.
Well, here goes what happens on tour stays on tour.
Sometimes not the case, but, but sometimes definitely the case. Yeah,
That's one thing I quite liked, right from years ago when I started organising some tours. I let comedians know in the car, like, that whole what goes on tour stays on tour. I don't like that. Yeah. I think it's secretive and it can make partners feel really suspicious. So my rule was, if anybody had a partner and they were sleazy on the tour, I would let their partner know. I'd make that real clear, because I just hate it. And it was,
you're mad loyal, you're a mad stickler for complete loyalty. I love.
Yeah, but it was amazing how that worked, and I think the threat of it, because you're friends with everyone's partners as well. How could you look at somebody's partner and go, oh my God, I was on tour and this guy was sleazing on to somebody, or whatever happened.
Sex with someone else.
Yeah. So I said, and it all kept away from me. That stuff did happen, but I never saw anything to do with it, or it wasn't on my tours.
I
or if
love
it was,
that.
it was
You really stood up to yourself and stood up to people, that in a group you're kind of like, oh yeah, away from home, away from the wife, away from the girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. And you just stuck your ground straight from the bat, which is massively respectful. And
you probably did a lot of people favours by doing that as well.
Oh, totally. And it wasn't all comedians went like, oh, fucking hell. But, the same way, you're like, great, it should be like that. So, and we'd all have our separate rooms as well. So I quite liked it. I was like, it's open invitation. If your partners want to come along, bring them along, because it's a free ticket. Nice. It's a nice, it's a free holiday.
It's hard with your job. You are travelling so much, aren't you? Yeah. And people with families that are away from home a lot, and that's that's the lifestyle and that's a career. And I can imagine for families having that anxiety would cause quite a lot of
attention given to you as well.
Oh yeah, we groupies. Oh my gosh, have you had like groupies or stalkers? Like
Not on this. No. But this is one of my partners. She come down to the comedy club, and after a gig, some people would talk to you at the bar, some not. Some nights not at all, and some would. And I get home and I remember it happened a few times. She was going, "Oh my God, the girl was so hitting on you." And I had no idea. Totally.
That's how innocent you are. That's so cute.
But isn't it funny how us women, we're like, we know, honey, we know. Men are like, no idea. Whereas women are like,
And so I quite often, if I'm in a relationship and somebody talks to me at the bar and I'm thinking, I don't, because there's nothing worse also if one of those guys that goes, oh, they talk to me, shit, they're into me. You go, oh my God, no, it's just a person talking to you. So getting that mixed up, I don't want to risk it. So every conversation is like, oh, somehow crowbar and my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of sets the pace. Because, I don't know. And usually it'd be somebody just going, hey, loved your set.
Well, that's the thing. People are admiring you. You've just, put something great on, and they were like, yeah, you're awesome. I want to come meet this guy, Good on you.
Mm-hmm. It's not always got, not everybody wants to come and chat you up. They actually genuinely want to, say good job.
And it's a big thing.
Because it's funny, it's brilliant. Have you been to the comedy bar in Queen Street? Any of you girls?
Yeah, many years ago.
Mm-hmm. I think we should do a night out.
I've been to a few at the Pump House in Takapuna as well. They used to throw some comedy nights as well.
I went to one on Queen Street one time, and I was with my mum, and it was Taryn got us to go along, and it wasn't the actual night. It was where they test out the newbies. Yeah. And I used to get there was a time where I did a lot of stage stuff like theatre and things like that. But then as I got older, I started getting really, really shy. I don't even know how I'm on camp. And anyway, they wanted someone on stage, And my mum was like, Vic, you go. I was like, heck no. Heck no. And then she found that hilarious. So she's like, over here, off you go. And then they actually came and got me, and I got so precious. And I went up there, and I swear to God, I was stood on stage, and when you look out, you can't even really see people, can you?
Black hole.
You just see like these little dark little bobble heads, and then this bright light in your face. And I stood on stage. My mum was crying. I got back afterwards, and her makeup was streaming. She was like, you were shaking. You could see. You were just stood there. And the guy was talking, trying to do his set on me. And I just stood there staring out at the light like, ah. And then he was like saying something to me and asking me to do things. And I was just like, and he was like, this is not working. My whole content's now just gone. He's like, and he was like,
yeah, you're a dad.
And I felt like I was the dud. And the poor guy lost his entire content on me just...
Oh my God.
Sat back down, crying with tears. My mother, she was like, that was
Oh, I
brilliant.
can imagine.
The only one in the room crying because nothing else happened for anyone else. But my mum's crying with laughter. It was probably the best night.
So
mortified. Don't you ever do that to me.
Your mum has the funniest, darkest sense of humour.
Because you know her mum, because Taryn, explain who Taryn is, because to anyone that doesn't know. So
Taryn, well, Taryn's an amazing comedian. He's been around the scene longer than me. But yeah, his ex is your mum.
Yes,
And so quite a few road trips or gigs that we're doing. I mean, the one in New Plymouth had Taryn on, and Kathy came down as well.
Mum went to heaps of them. My mum went to, and she loved it. And they're still really, really great friends. Like Taryn's just part of the family, and he's such a great guy and he's so funny. And my mum used to go on all those trips with Taryn, and so we went to the comedy quite a lot through him. And my mum has an incredible, which is why they got along so well. My mum's got an awesome sense of humour, very dark. Very dark. That's where I get it from.
Because she's a nurse. Nurses and doctors and people who work in that industry, you have to kind of somehow counteract all the horrible stuff there. So she has got the darkest sense of humour. It's so funny.
I think she's born dark.
I'd hear her say stuff and I'd go like, I would not say that on stage. It's great.
I quite often have to sort of, I get my humour from mum, but I think sometimes I'm a little bit more know when to say it, whereas my mum's just no filter, out it goes. She is who she is, and she's incredible. She's so funny. That's why everyone adores her.
So real,
unapologetically them.
It's the best.
Is there any topics or subjects that you do not touch when it comes to comedy? Because I mean, there are some comedians who can, we'll go back to Jim Jeffries because he's just so wrong in many ways, and he discusses things that are like, holy shit, but he gets away with them so well. But is there anything that you just won't go near? Yeah.
There's a few, and it's down to the individual comedian. It's your own responsibility. If you say something, you get the feedback, whether it's they laugh, they groan, they get upset, or you're offended. So say anything. My rules on when I had the bar was say anything you want on stage, but you're responsible for what you say. Right. But for me, I wouldn't touch things that, like I don't like joking about cancer, because I know if you look at it, say 100 people in the room, almost everybody has been touched with that in some way in their family or friends, and it'll bring up a horrible, bring up a sad memory.
To laugh about.
And and you don't know what level too. Like, it might be 20 years after something's happened, so they're ready to laugh about it. But there's somebody in the room that happened yesterday, and so I just think, for me, I just wouldn't touch on that because I want people to come in and have a laugh, have a good time. So I think
that's quite respectful as well, because like you say, you don't know what people are going through with topics like that, and some things you can make fun of, but Oh
yeah, well, it's like it's a very PC world now. But when you're out, like in our New Plymouth gig, PC drops away, which I like. When you're in a live crowd, on TV stuff, people will get on board. Warriors, keyboard warriors, but you go to a live show, like the one we have in New Plymouth, and it's just we cross lines, we go hard out. But we're still responsible for what we say. So I don't talk about that, the abortion or certain things.
Yes.
Because, there's some people that are like, you have to be PC, you have to be this, and then are you getting to the point where you start losing your free speech because we're just so worried. And I actually can't keep up on the new trends of what you can and can't say because it changes.
There's no such thing as free speech.
Just be yourself and not worry about a trend. Just do you.
I would start off my shows, if I'm hosting, I'll go, we're all over 18, there's so much PC in the world, so we're going to cross some lines tonight, and if you're going to get offended, the best thing you can do is fuck off. And that's how it starts the
Comedy
show.
show and not expect to have something offend you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's a good place to have to go laugh at yourself as well, because if you get pinpointed, don't sit at the front or do whatever your humour is.
Oh, totally. And there was some stuff that I was saying 10 years ago on stage that I would not say now. Really? Yeah, totally. Oh, it was just even brought up in the 70s, and there's some, especially male female stuff it's changed. We were kind of not taught that it was acceptable, but it was just a given from growing up in that era where it was quite sexist.
So you could do that stereotyping and that sexist stereotyping it. But even now,
women have
it's
babies
like...
and stay home and cook and clean.
But the thing is, we are all quite strong women, and we're very independent women, and we're very girl power, and we love all that. However, if someone made a joke with me, knowing it's a joke,
exactly.
have a laugh.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and a lot of people do, but also, a lot of people don't now. So
it's funny how some people go to a comedy show
are the ones that will voice their opinion negatively about the joke. Yeah.
Oh, people get full on upset. I remember I was halfway through a Michael Jackson joke, and this old Scottish guy in the crowd, he got he's like, everybody's quiet, and he was like, "You fuck up, I won't do the accent, I can't do accents, and that's probably racist if I try."
Please do. We'll try and guess it.
But so he was having a hard out go at me. He's a bloody good performer, an amazing dancer, and a role model, rah, rah, rah. And I let him go for ages, and the whole crowd was like, "Holy shit," and it was real tense. And as soon as there was a gap, I went, "I totally agree with you. I just don't like the fact that he fucked kids." And, but he was crossing every line with me. So, and everybody, the relief, everyone went, "Yeah, fuck it." And whether he did or not, I don't know. But you're in a comedy club. If you want to get passionate about something, I will win. I've got the microphone. And so,
I love that. I love that when the stickers get bombed out.
And you are playing with reality, because not everything that comes out is there as in, this is a fact and this is how I feel. This is just, we're playing with themes, you're playing with words, and it's there to be taken lighthearted.
Yeah, and he had every right, and that's passionate for him. He had every right to say anything he wanted to then. It was a stupid time to say it. Could have come up to me at the bar.
Was it right at the time when Michael Jackson was going
it would have been
trials and all that sort of stuff? And there's Vaughan,
I think he died at that point, so I think it was a bit of a sore point for this. It's really weird though. What a fan! Imagine him rocking up to the old Michael Jackson concert in the. Just this really old Scottish guy. Hey! I'm mad! Hey!
Michael Jackson was actually the very first concert I went to. Oh, don't worry. I don't mind if someone takes the piss. I actually have a sense of humour, and I don't get offended.
I was a Jackson fan.
I was 15. I was about 15 when he came to where was it in Eden? Was it?
That's smart.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I lined up at his hotel at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I was not missing. I even caught one of the balloons he threw down. I was one of those screaming fans that lost my voice, cried, fainted, was like mad fan, because Michael Jackson, I grew up on Michael Jackson. Yeah. He was like my number one. If anybody insulted him, like, fuck you, no, he didn't do that. I'd always stand up for him, and that sort of shit. And I went to his concert and lined up. I was one of the first ones at the gate. I was right at the front. Before he even came out of that spaceship that came out of the ground, I lost my voice.
I was there with my sister, the same concert probably. I was also right at the front.
It was fucking phenomenal. His performance and the way he performed was out of this world.
When he came out in that crane thingy,
you know what? Even if you're a Michael Jackson hater or anything like that, just respecting the way he performed and the way he was on stage was just it was out of this world.
My first was Venga Boys.
Yes.
We like to party. We like to party.
You know who the Venga Boys are?
Yep, I never went to them, but no. I've only been to one concert in my life.
Oh, one, and who was that?
And that was the Muppets. True. I had tickets to good concerts. I had the Rolling Stones when they were playing.
Like adult Muppets, or what is it? I don't get it. What do you mean the Muppets?
Kermit the Frog.
I don't know. The Muppets, were they people dressed as Muppets?
No.
Muppet things?
It was actual Muppets, like Kermit the Frog.
Like the actual
and Miss Piggy and...
How did that work?
How does a Muppet work?
A concert.
It's a whole different concert.
A concert. I'm sorry.
See, that's that's a concert I'd go to. Amazing.
How does a Muppet concert happen? Like,
they had like the they had the orchestra there, and they would come out. You'd see the person; they'd be on a little wheel sort of thing, and they'd be holding like Kermit, and they'll be mic'd up. It was amazing. I know. It's the only concert. Yeah. It was hosted by Brett from Flight of the Conchords. It was actually Taryn who got the tickets.
Well done, Taryn. That's so typical of Taryn as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
He can go to a concert.
He goes, hey, I'm coming to Wellington. I've got 2 tickets to the Muppets. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah. but while I was there was just all people. There were a few kids here, but mainly people in their 40s and upwards. And we're all there just looking at them like rock stars. I remember when Miss Piggy came out, everyone was like, yeah!
oh my God, she was so sassy, Miss Piggy.
It was great.
Oh, but I'm just envisioning...
A bunch of adults.
No, I'm envisioning Vaughan and Taryn at the front of this Muppet show.
It was amazing. Yeah, I feel quite weirdly emotional because they even had a lady with Fraggle Rock. She came out.
Fraggle Rock, I loved Fraggle Rock.
The red-haired, so it was the original lady who did the voice. So she came out and Taryn got emotional at that one. He was like, oh, I love her. It was a full on.
Did you lose your voice like Sarah did at Michael Jackson? Muppets.
Weirdly enough, when this happened earlier on in my comedy career, whenever I get stressed or freaked out, my voice goes real Kermity. So even my very first time on pop comedy, I think that was probably well before some of you were born. But I come out, I look like I just look really weird 17-year-old. I don't know how old I was, but I looked and I just so nervous. I come out, my first words out, and it was me going, "Hi everybody." It was, and it's hard out Kermit. No, because the other time that I've actually been in a gig where it was in. I was really stressed out about this gig. I'm not sure why, but Hurley's next door, like behind the side stage curtains. And somebody yelled out at the back of the room partway through my bit going, "Why do you sound like Kermit?" And I thought Hurley had set it up because he always gives me shit about it. And I was just like, "We do not, would you?" But the weirdest one with that, what happened, I was living in Herne Bay and about 3 o'clock in the morning I heard this banging and crashing and people throwing stuff around outside. And I had a bigger bed then. And I went out and there was these 16-year-old kids that were kicking a rubbish bin around. I thought, I'm not going to call the cops. They're just being 16. They're being idiots. But I'll go out as the old guy and, go, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? So I all geared up to be the grumpy old man. I was slippers were on. And I put on my robe and I went out there and it was, it's a big moment for me. I hadn't been grumpy old man to drunk kids. I went out there and went, "Hey, what are you doing?" And seriously, one of the guys just cracks up and went, "Oh, we got told off by Kermit, bro." I was like, fuck. And I went inside to get it.
It just happened.
It literally sounds identical.
Oh, yeah, but it'd be stressed out. Big gig, I'll seriously, "Hey, here we go." It's terrible. I know, it's been a curse. So that's how you can tell whether I'm stressed. I go Kermit. Yeah.
Oh my God, is there any video footage of you doing that?
Yeah, I've got the VHS of my first pop comedy.
Oh, that's so...
Yeah, but I have to get it put onto disc. But yeah.
Can you explain that to 18-year-olds what
I've
that
got a
is?
VHS machine still at home.
Do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Does it work?
Yes, it does.
Oh my God.
Can you get video? What are they called? Video? What are they? Video something.
Video.
Oh, they're just video cassettes. There we go.
What are they called?
What are they called? Those square things.
I've got quite a few stacked. I've got to get them transferred.
Yeah.
Onto,
Yeah, I've got some stacked as well.
Isn't it funny how it changed though? You had like your videos and then you had your DVDs and then it was like Blu-ray DVDs and now it's like nothing. Nothing.
Maybe your CD pack that you used to have on, your CD pack you used to carry around or your tape recorder they used to hook into your belt and used to jam with your big
I used to make my own mixtapes, so I would, because I probably couldn't afford to buy tapes of the latest music. I used to have a radio which was like that in my room, and at night I would lie, and it used to always be the breeze. The childhood I had of the breeze, and I would lie there and I would press record and play down at the same time. So when the radio would start playing a song, I'd quickly press record. And if the presenter spoke over that song, you're ruining my mixtape. And then quite often after trying to do a couple to make my own mixtapes, I'd fall asleep. And then my whole entire tape was like the radio of all night, and like, damn it, so you have to rewind, try and find this point. And I'd get all my nail polishes out, and then I would nail polish and colour in and glitter them, and I had this basket full of all my mixtapes.
Oh, they were the shizzle, man. They were so cool. Who's got this cool tape recorder thing, clip it onto your little 80s high-waisted jeans, you know, rocking it out.
I had a white ghetto blaster that it was only that big, but I used to carry it on the shoulder because that was the cool thing.
That's another time.
I stopped. I was walking through Harwood Park, and there was I was into the Beastie Boys at that time, and there was all these girl guides doing some sort of thing, and I'm walking through them. Then the song comes on really loud. Girls, all I really want is girls. And I was like, oh my god! I just felt mortified. There's all these little girls. I'm just like, trying to stop it, trying to not look like an idiot.
Looking like a creep, the park, bunch of girls.
Yeah, exactly. I was 15, but they were like 7. I was just, oh my god! And it's quite an aggressive sounding song. Girls, all I really want is girls. It's terrible.
All the parents gathering their children. Come on, darling.
I know.
Oh, fuck. I got such a sore jaw muscle from this. This is brilliant.
I
love you.
I'd love
You're
to
actually
hear
just
a
really
snippet
naturally
of-
funny.
I'd love to hear a snippet of what you...
Well, you have. I talk about most of these things on stage.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Love
I tell you, the worst one is these scars. You probably can't see on the camera there. See those 2 scars there and there?
Yeah, they're pretty gnarly.
That was from. This is a joke on stage now, but I use this is how it happened. This is from a water fight with West Auckland children.
What?
A what fight?
Water fight.
A water fight.
We lived in a cul-de-sac, and
How
we
did
were all the
you
kids.
do that?
Well, that was it. With all the kids were all squirting and all this, and little Bryce, the 4-year-old from next door, comes out with a little water pistol, and I thought, oh, we're not going to run away from him because, you know, he's a little, oh, you cute little thing, I'm going to get wet. And it was a fucking nail gun.
Oh my god! Are you kidding?
This cute little nail that comes out. I'm not running away.
Well, the first one, that's why there's big scars, because it went into the bone. So
Holy shit!
the first one went in, and I started to go, you know, when the darkness comes in, I was just, oh, and I was on the ground. And then the second one, because I saw Bryce over me, and he just went, jump to the second one.
He went
Went into the kill.
Yeah.
Came in again! Oh, the bus went on the ground!
Let's finish him off.
Yeah, nasty,
Did he
yeah.
not know he had a nail gun?
No, see, the thing about that is it's not true. I just got 2 moles removed.
Oh,
But that's how you come up with material. You have something and you use it.
Oh my god, I was so believed. I was thinking, what does he do now, I wonder?
I'm like, where did this little kid get a gun? Like,
did he realise it was a nail gun?
Yeah.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're clear. Yeah.
It's quite believable though, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Believable.
Yeah. But we were like,
So engulfed in it.
Yeah.
we heard you've got a very special talent.
Yes, I can, oh no.
What talent are we talking about? Yeah, here's what we prepared earlier.
Is the harmonicas. So it's been,
This is fucking
it has been
hilarious.
literally probably about,
We are short ones.
We are short one. We are, don't worry, we have antibacterial wipes. We're hygienic. Let's give one now, actually. We'll give it a clean out.
you notice I shake quite a bit. Look at that. I've had these since I was 7. I don't know if you remember on tour, I was always Tremo guy. So if you
Little
see
shakes.
me getting shakes, I'm not
not
freaking out. or
nervous.
anything.
Did you just get a toy one day and you liked it, or how did you get into the harmonica?
I think it was in drama school. There was this guy who was all the girls really liked, and they were always all over him, and he always played the harmonica. And
So it wasn't a drum, it wasn't guitar, it was
no, it was harp. And,
harmonica. I love it.
and I just thought, wow, you know, want to be like him. He was really cool, and all the girls like him. And yeah, and also it's easier than carrying around than a piano. But like mine, this has also never got me laid. So I don't know what the fuck, you know. I think the guy was a surfer and a bodybuilder. That could have been it. Nothing to do with the harmonica at all. Yeah, and he was a nice guy. Yeah. All right. So this is easy. I was going to teach you guys something because you know how most good old blues harp guys or girls they can play the train. Like you've heard. Yeah, they'll play real good things. So I can't do that, but I can do a squeaky tricycle. So if
We ain't doing that today.
this is one I want to teach you. So you got to build up to the train. So the first thing you want to learn is the squeaky tricycle. Yeah. So imagine the tricycle when you're on it. It's got a squeaky wheel. That's it. Yeah. And there you go. That's your first lesson. Squeaky.
My lipstick's going to go everywhere now.
Yeah.
Very talented. No.
And then you get more advanced, you start going to Squeaky tricycle going down a hill.
I breathe in and out that fast. I fucking pass out. I'll hyperventilate.
So you're breathing out your nose quite a bit as well. That should be a poster. That's amazing. I've never seen somebody hold their nose while doing
Hot. That's hard work. You've actually got to have lung power.
And this is just the tricycle. Imagine the train.
Go to choo-choo train.
The weird thing how you're supposed to work it is you put your mouth over 4 holes, you're pressing your tongue against 3, so you're only blowing in 1. And
Oh, so your tongue's got to be out on it.
but that's so you don't have to for the tricycle.
I won't put my tongue on it for you, babes.
Now don't get. Have you got a tongue ring still? Have you? No. Okay.
I won't get stuck on the hole.
Yeah, don't get stuck.
I'm getting a little. I know. My little lippy.
Okay. Wow. That's nice.
That's so cool.
It's nice to me. That is literally the first time I played a harp for about 7 months. So it's nice.
Oh my gosh, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
You want to jam to it? You want to get the little line?
Yeah, go again. Let's go again. Give us some more.
Who's got some lines? Who's got some? Anyone quick at making up some lines? Duh. Oh, shit, no.
And then if you get some lines.
No shit, no. I'm shocking it on the spot.
Come on.
Shit, I don't know any.
Well, he's going now.
Shay, got any lines, love?
So the pan will be. I'll do the blowing and the sucking, and
Blowing in the second.
and you do the singing and the yelling.
Singing and the yelling.
You don't want me to do the singing. Gosh, we've had words about that. My name is Victoria. I kind of adore ya. Stay trying. I just don't think I got that.
When in a panic, you can do that deep voice thing and just go.
And then you say like, no, that's a really bad Kermit the Frog. A sick one, he's got a cold.
Oh, he's got something in his mouth.
Go.
It's high pressure.
What do you mean go?
We're grunting now, right?
I was looking at
Banana.
Well, think about something.
Hello. Do that again.
Do it again.
Okay.
Let's put some music to the.
So you can do the drums.
No, but if you think about something horrible, not it's something you're okay to share about, and just say 2 or 3 words about it in a row. Doesn't don't kill the room. Don't make everyone go, oh my god, this is terrible. But just it might have had a bad day. Like I don't know, the toilet wouldn't flush it all down, or I don't know, don't spit out your water. It could be just something that really ruins your day.
Let's try. Oh my god, we'll try. Let's try.
Do it in a deep, husky, bluesy voice.
Okay. Let's try. Let's see what we can come up with, for fuck's sake.
That sounded grotty French. Like, I got a French voice.
I was like, who's going to go next? I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
No, it's fun.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's good.
It is. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, give it a go. Just
You play.
Do your thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Da-la-la-la.
go down the deep end.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because you do your hands too, don't you?
She's got the first thing that you've got to do absolutely. So if you can go like that as you do it.
Okay, I'll do the music and you do the singing.
Okay. Okay, tell me when you're going to do the music.
State of this.
Yeah. Look, I'm cleaning it. Do you want to have a go? My lips haven't been anywhere those shit on.
You've already done.
So when you
teach me that.
Yeah, it would take about 4 months. But that's when you've got your tongue over 3 and you're blowing through 1 at the side. Then you're kind of bending your tongue, and as you're breathing it in, and you can. The biggest trick is to try and get a single note first. It's close. You're 4 off.
You gotta get good with the tongue. 4 off.
Oh my gosh, that's really actually really cool. What a cool instrument. She's good at sucking and blowing.
Yeah, I am.
So now I know why women are into men that play the harmonicas. They're good with their tongues.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
I'm 49, it's too late.
It's never too late, trust me.
No. Oh my gosh, I swear my stomach, I think I've got a new set of abs. Great. After eating cheese, no. We'll wrap this up and say a massive thank you for coming on. You are
welcome.
Epic. You were so funny. I adore you. I haven't seen you in a while too, so it was really cool to catch up. And yeah.
So you're still performing? And so where can people come and see you?
Mainly down the classic comedy bar, 321 Queen Street. All over the place. I do gigs wherever. Yep, weekends.
We should
It's
do
online.
an unscripted night. We should all go down there.
Oh, 100%. Do a team.
Yeah.
Just do a
Do a
team.
team unscripted night.
Yeah.
We'll let you all know when we go down so you can all join
Everyone
us.
can join us. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And what you guys are doing with this is amazing. It's so good and so positive. So I hope it keeps going and keeps.
Thanks,
it's
Vaughan.
such a lovely thing to come and deal with. And I haven't had a piece of cheese this whole frickin' time.
Get in there, guys.
So-
While we're wrapping up and
Cheers,
saying
time.
goodbye, thank you so much. And please do not forget to jump onto our YouTube channel and subscribe. Give us the thumbs up and the big support. Leave your comments. We will catch you next time. Be kind, be nice. Ciao.
See ya.
Bye-bye.